In this video, we're going to quickly cover standard and vertex form. Here is our learning goal for today, and it's by the end of this video, you should be able to understand standard and vertex form. Let's get started. First, let's write out the equations for standard form and vertex form. Standard form, we've got y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. And in vertex form, we've got y equals a bracket x minus h squared plus k. Now, when we graph different relations in these forms, they're going to impact the parent function of the parabola. If you remember, the parent function it's y equals x squared. So how does this parabola change based on the certain values that these variables hold? You can change from standard to vertex form, but we're not talking about any of that right now. What we're talking about is the different values and how they impact the parabola. So I'm just going to roughly sketch here in a parabola and how it would look as the parent function, okay? If you watch the other video that I filmed that talked about the different values like a, h, and k and how they impact the graph, well, the same thing applies in standard form to a certain degree, right? The a value in standard form is like the same as the a value in vertex form. It's going to impact whether it's a stretch, whether it's a compression, or if the parabola opens up or down. Okay, so our a values in both equations, I'll just draw a little dot beside it, impact the parabola in the same way. If we want to talk about the c value, we're going to compare it with k. And what k does is it moves the parabola up or down based on its value. Right? Which I go into depth in the other video. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. I'm going to take this. Oops. Let me reselect that. Okay, so we've got C. I just want to make sure it's not. Okay, let's do C here. And then just trying to make them like across from each other so you can see that they're related. Okay, then we've got, whoops, that's not what I need. Then we've got H over here. Okay, great. So C and K are related. Now, I'm sure your assumption is that H and B are related. There is not a direct relation between H and BX. I gotta get the right color here. There we go. Between H and BX, it would not be an exact correlation because H impacts the way that the graph moves horizontally. BX also impacts the way the graph moves horizontally, but it wouldn't be by the same factor. You would actually have to switch to vertex form to find out exactly by how many units the graph is translating left and right. So yes, they both impact the graph in regards to the way it moves left and right, but the number would not be exact. Okay, so I'm hoping that this is helping you visualize standard form and vertex form a little bit better. And the question that we were doing with the garden, we had a equation that looked like this. Y equals negative x squared plus 100. Okay, well I can see that this is following the same skeleton as standard form, right? Like here's my ax squared. There is no bx here, but there is a c. Okay, so if I'm looking at the value here of my a, it's -1. This is technically a -1. So if it's negative, I know it's opening down, right? I'm basing this on the fact that you've watched the other video, that you know how a, h, and k work, okay? It's opening down. I know that. And if I look at my c value, I know that that's the same as my k, right? K moves it up and down. C moves it up or down. All right, so I know it's going to move. We'll translate it in a different color here. We'll translate it in yellow. Then it's going to eventually move up by 100 units. So it started where the black one was, then it got flipped downwards, and then it was translated upwards 100 units. Okay, that flip is a reflection in the x-axis. I hope this video helps you to visualize standard form and vertex form a little bit better so that when you see it, you know how it's impacting the parabola. Okay? Okay.